I've tried to create a situation where they can reach out to my group, to my people, to me, and I'll talk to them and spend time with them, if for no other reason, to let them know that, you know, my hand is there for them, and they can talk to me, because I get it, I understand. You know, I may not have any answers for them, I may not have a resolve, because most of the time I don't. I mean, I'm still searching for answers too. But if we don't start reaching out to each other physically and letting each other speak and cry and scream at our frustration and our anger because of this dissociation from our normal world, if we don't reach out to those people, you know, we're just pushing them away. We're as bad as the bad dark side can be. We're as bad as the government if we don't allow people to you know, have some support. You know, and it's not about money. A lot of people say, oh, this is about money, you know, or somebody, when they use the word support. The word support is just giving somebody a moment of your time, giving them a piece of your heart and saying, look, I'm there for you. You know, it's not about money. It's just about understanding. It's about human contact. You know, we live in a time where technology is really a fabulous thing. All these computers and you know, data flying back and forth instantaneously, and Skype and texting. But you know what? We've lost the human touch of communication. It's like you and I talking today. I mean, you know, there's no cameras, there's no spotlights. It's just two guys talking. And that's what we need. That's what we need, especially to deal with this kind of subject. Because if we lose the human side of this contact, we've lost everything. This is about humanity. This is about the sensitivity of the emotions of what transpires when you're dealing with something like this that is truly emotional. Okay? I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many books people write about this subject. Unless you hear the people, unless you take the time to put yourself in front of someone and listen to them one-on-one, listen to the heart side of their words, their emotions, you won't get it. You will miss the biggest and probably most important factor in all of this. And so that's how I feel.
Do you think that it's an opposing side or an opposing force that's trying to desensitize us to not make that connection with accounts like yours and others? Like, is there, like, you know, we call it dark side, but it seems like it's people just, they try to take the seriousness of your case and make it laughable, or they do it with any other case. I mean, a lot of stuff.
Well, I think there's two different ideas there. You know, regarding desensitizing or people laughing at this whole subject matter. Laughter is a mask to cover up their own fear. You know, we laugh at things unconsciously because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to get too deep into a subject because it can be disturbing. So we tend to laugh at it, or we push it aside with our humor. But the other side of this, and that's just the normal people, that's just the everyday public. But the term dark side is something I came up with. I coined it from, movies, because I didn't want to keep saying the subversive government.
Okay.
I didn't want to keep saying that it was some sub-government unit, because people would keep saying, well, what government? From what country? Is this from the United States, or is this from Germany? Or, I ended up saying it's the dark side. It's the bad side. It's a bad military-style apparatus that's been in place for for years and years and years to try to keep this information out of the public awareness. And that is as real as the air we breathe. It happens every day around the world to somebody who has had an experience or has started to talk about it. These people, and I use that term lightly, will come forward and force themselves into these people's lives, basically harassing them and making statements to the degree of saying that if you talk any more about this, your life is going to change forever, and we're going to make it as difficult for you as possible, for you, for your family, for your occupation, for your community. I mean, they will go down the list, and then they will do it. This is not just an idle threat. I mean, I can only speak for what I know, and I am here to tell you that I've been beaten up, I've been harassed, I've been threatened multiple times. I've been shot. I've been shot at. My team over the years have gone through hell. And I keep asking the question, for what? Because I'm talking about something? Because I shouldn't be able to talk about something that happened to me? I don't understand this. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. We've had to deal with every kind of harassment you can believe. I mean, sometimes to the degree, people have been killed in my team. And under circumstances of either trying to kidnap me or keep me from speaking or traveling to a place where they have private meetings with other heads of state. I've tried to counsel many, many people on what happened to me and what I know is going on. I didn't ask for this job. I did not look to be in this position. But I've been put in this position by the negative aspect of this. Some people say, well, why don't you just roll over and shut up? Why don't you just, stand down and go back to your normal life? First of all, I don't have a normal life. Everything I had was taken away from me. I don't have a job. I don't have a house any longer. I'm basically living semi in the shadows to stay alive and stay away from being either killed or maimed. I'm so tired and so frustrated about people thinking that this is an easy life. Mm-hmm. It's not. I've been living in other people's houses or living in apartments or buildings that have been abandoned because of lack of money, because of lack of resources, because of situations that are far beyond my control. People say, well, why don't you just come and, live with us and we'll help you. Well, the problem is, as soon as I associate with other people, then their families get threatened or somebody else gets hurt. Okay? I've chosen not to hurt other people. I've chosen not to out my friends and my team who have worked so hard to protect me and to protect us. I've been put into a position where I have no choice. And I don't do this because I like the adventure or I like the anger. I hate this. I hate these feelings. I hate the fact that people get hurt and are harassed and are beat up and are killed. I hate it. I live with this every fucking day.
Yeah, can you go into that a little bit as far as, just because you did a radio show interview, why is that supposed to mean that you're not on the run?
Well, I think, again, you're talking with two different strains of the reality of this. One is the reality that there's there's only a few people in the public that really understands the severity of this, how serious it can be, and it is. The rest of the public only sees what they hear or what's painted out there in front of them. Okay? And there's an ongoing disinformation campaign of my information and my team and anybody who supports my team to basically debunk my encounters and anything to do with that facilitates the continual new information that seems to surface about me. And I think the reason for that is anytime there's something credible, they have to prove to everybody, they have to make it seem that it's not credible. They have to basically throw out as much disinformation as possible to discredit anyone talking about me or anyone talking about anyone who has had a real serious physical contact encounter. That is the whole plan behind this information regarding, this subject, is to discredit it so people, the populace, the public doesn't get behind it. So nobody has an uprising. And I saw this early on.
Okay.
And that, again, this is one of the reasons why I took myself out of the public. Is I just felt that there was very little value in trying to address a lot of these issues because a lot of it can't be proven after the fact. I mean, people say, who's dead? How did this happen? We haven't seen any evidence on, the mainstream news. So if it's not in the soundbite on, 60 Minutes, then it doesn't exist. Well, that's too bad because 60 Minutes is controlled because all the major media apparatus is being controlled. You see less than 1% information out there regarding the reality of what's going on about people who have had contact. And the reason is it's being controlled. I don't know how to be any more clear with people when I say information is being controlled. Everything, the only thing I can draw a reference to that people understand is John Kennedy, when he was assassinated. All the information was controlled. And then a huge smoke screen was put up to try to provide the public with an answer that they could digest so that they would basically be tranquilized back into believing in their government.
I got you.
And I just think the same situation is here. It's with this subject too. Anybody who has had contact with intelligent extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional life is basically a target for ridicule and disinformation so that his credibility is debunked, so that people will not look at him or his information. That's what's happened to me. That's what happens with almost everyone who has come forward in the last 75 years. I'm not the only case. I am not the only one. I'm just somebody who had more physical evidence than anybody else. And most of the time, the debunkers don't even go after the evidence. They go after just me. It's personal character assassination that seems to turn the public off first. And once they're turned off about your personality or the person who is giving the information, once you assassinate the messenger, then people don't even look at the evidence. And that's a shame. It's too bad that humans